Walter de Maria Boxes for Meaningless Work is the first museum exhibition in the United States to survey the more than 50-year-long career of the American artist Walter de Maria. The show consists primarily of works from the museum's collection. Over the past decade, the Menil has significantly deepened our holdings of work by the influential artist. The exhibition begins in the early 1960s with a group of rarely exhibited, interactive, box-like wood constructions. At the time, de Maria had just moved to New York City, the indisputable center of the art world during this decade. He was in his early 20s, and like many of his peers, was questioning the very definition of art and its historical traditions during a political moment in the United States, a time when many social norms and political structures were being overturned. For de Maria, art was more than just an object, and it was more than just a painted canvas on a wall. It was a philosophical site for experimentation. Radically, he began thinking about how art could be about experience itself by bringing in the audience to more actively engage with and shape how meaning is produced. Participatory art is an audience-centered approach, and it was a novel concept in the visual arts during the early 1960s. De Maria's works, many with handwritten inscriptions, invite interaction and play. He called these actions meaningless because they lack a productive end. For the artist, the action, the tactility, and the movement of engaging with the work of art could draw attention to your experience. And it's in these humorous and seemingly boring or even repetitive written directions that help us understand how we might have wanted these actions to look, feel, or even sound like. De Maria believed in the agency of the audience. For example, in some works on view, he asks you to walk back and forth across the space. In the monumental sculpture and passageway, the arch, the artist establishes a dynamic work that draws attention to the architecture of the space, the relationship between the work of art and your body. By the mid-1960s, de Maria was thinking more expansively about how his work could extend these ideas about art and experience by moving outside of the gallery and the museum space. Here, the artist could explore themes related to infinity and invisibility, and even the limits of perception. He was a part of the land art movement and among a group of artists who turned to the earth itself as a medium. In Mile-Long Drawing, which he completed in the Mojave Desert in 1969, de Maria drew two parallel lines with chalk. The temporary marks extended so far into the distance that the lines were perceived as infinite. How we see, how we feel, and how we experience art becomes the subject of so many of the works in this show, including Ocean Bed. De Maria originally called this work a sculptural environmental situation. For this exhibition, we have recreated this participatory work, which has only been shown once before in Amsterdam in 1969. Visitors are invited to recline on a pink mattress while listening to the clashing sounds of recordings of the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. De Maria's interest in how his art establishes dynamic and thought-provoking relationships with the viewer is also revealed in his work, where he sets up situations that allow you to question your senses. Small Landscape is a group of work on paper. Each sheet has a handwritten word that is commonly used to describe aspects of landscape painting, like sun, cloud, mountain, tree. However, the words are intentionally very hard to see. He made the drawings using the slightest bit of pressure on the pencil, creating nearly illegible marks. He called these works the invisible drawings. The exhibition also includes 3 large paintings from the Statement series. The earliest is a large yellow painting made for the exhibition Earthworks in 1968. The plaque in the middle reads, "The color men choose when they attack the earth." The phrase is enigmatic. It evokes an image of the excavation of dirt as an artistic gesture, and some scholars believe it relates to the painting's color, the signature hue of Caterpillar brand earth-moving equipment. In 2011, he revisited this composition by turning to the theme of global violence. The red and blue paintings, which the artist made for his first solo exhibition in the United States at the Menil Collection in 2011, have an equally encompassing scale. They also have the small inscribed plaques in the middle of the flat fields of pigment, which is in tension with the work's size. They too require a more dynamic encounter for the viewer to see. You have to be close and intimate to see the tiny words, while the engulfing canvas propels the body back into space. In one early review of Di Maria's work, one frustrated critic called the artist's ideas outrageous. Di Maria, he said, was the high priest of Manhattan's artistic underground, and said that the artist made such puzzling works with no clear meaning that they were infuriating. Di Maria's work is indeed hard to understand, and often literally hard to see, but that is precisely the point. Throughout his 50-year-long career, Di Maria explored how experience, the full and the physical engagement of our senses, shapes the way we see and shapes the way we understand art. And in so doing, he questions and challenges our inclinations in a way to point out what we don't know or can't understand. Walter Di Maria believed in the mystery of the unknown.